Okay, so today we have Joni Mitchell and Blue. So since this video will be uploaded on Canada Day, I wanted to do a Canadian artist, and Joni is somebody who immediately came to mind, one of the greatest Canadian singer-songwriters of all time, one of the most important singer-songwriters ever, just not even just because she's from Canada. So anyway, let's get into this, talk about it after, and I guess just to say, since it's Canada Day, I think the greatest Canadian is probably Terry Fox, and so there's my opinion. Anyway, let's get into this, talk about it after. Here we go. Michael J. Fox too, John Candy, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young. My goodness. What a start.
Songs are like tattoos, you know I've been to see before. Crown and anchor me, or let me sail away. Hey blue, there is a song for you, ink on a pen. The skin, an empty space to fill in. Well, there's so many sinking now, you gotta keep thinking you can make it through these waves. Acid, booze, and ass, needles, guns, and grass, lots of laughs. Lots of laughs.
Oh, that second one.
Everybody's saying that hell's the hippest way to go. Well, I don't think so, but I'm gonna take a look around at the blue. A shell for you. Inside you'll hear a sigh, a foggy lullaby. There is your song from me.
Oh my. Dramatic little end as well, but it's dramatic throughout the whole way through. Holy crap. So Blue from Joni Mitchell. I mean, the song is only 2 minutes 57 seconds, but coming into this and it being titled Blue, I didn't mention it off the top because I was talking about Canada, but I've been feeling a bit blue myself. Again, I made a video about it, but losing my dog, and also just, I don't know, all the things that go along with that. So, and I've been listening, I feel like, to a lot more sad songs, and that continues today with Blue. So it just, that title spoke to me. I mean, the album itself, it's called Blue, and from what I've read from Joni and a couple interviews she's done about the album, although I've never listened to anything from the album until now with the title track, she talked about how she was very delicate during this time of her career, and I might as well say at the top too, when you search up the song, people automatically, you see, talk about how this song is pretty much about James Taylor, and because of course she and James had a very intense but short relationship, as it's been put, and there's parts in it where it's very much about James, I guess, but we'll get to that when we talk about the lyrics. So James comes into play here, but obviously this is just really a song all about depression, all about sadness in general. I love her metaphors here. I love how she talks about the sea, the waves crashing. Again, I feel like that's done so many different times when you talk about feeling blue and feeling, again, depressed, and how you can use that to talk about the the sea, and how that's kind of a metaphor, the waves crashing against you like depression does. And, I always feel like so many people have done that, and Joni does it here beautifully as well. Tragically beautiful, I mean, if you could say it that way too. And just her voice here, I mean, I believe it's just her and her piano, I would imagine she's playing it as well. And so a piano-driven ballad, mournful piano-driven ballad. And it's just so... I love the way she sings. I mean, I gotta say, I think, like, the few songs I've heard from her now, I have not heard enough, but the way she sings, it's so real, and it's so honest, and it's so raw. Like, on this song in particular, of course, you can hear every little sound that she's doing, every little sound she's making, the breaths she's taking. And I love how, obviously, her vibrato here is just off the charts. It's off the chain, as the kids say, whatever, maybe back in the day. But it's just so... there's that shakiness to her voice, and you can feel the pain, you can feel the passion, you can feel the emotion she's conveying, and how she feels so blue, of course. And then when she goes into, I guess, the verses, I would say, otherwise than her elongating words like "I love you" and saying "blue" off the top, she talks, sings, and she talks almost kind of fast, and again, she almost gets out of breath in her words. Some words are short, and that's what I like about it. It just seems so live. It just seems so off the cuff, and she's just, I have to look at the lyrics now to, remind myself of what she's saying here, but when she talks about, I've seen the sea before, crown and anchor me, ain't got a pin underneath the skin. It just, I don't know, the words she's saying, they're not all saying at the same momentum. Just something like that. I'm trying to explain. But yeah, it just seems so real and off the cuff and honest. And that's the whole point. Again, reading up on this time of her life. And again, I talk about James, I talk about depression in general. It seems like she was just she went and found all the negativity in her life, poured her heart into the song. And again, I think about how she had to give up her daughter earlier in her life as well, which I don't think was known at the time, but it was known later on. So I don't know if she's talking from that, or if even that happened at this point. I don't know, but I just think that comes to mind because I think about, was she just thinking about everything that's made her blue, and just has put that into the song and probably onto this whole album too, because that's what comes to mind. She just seems to have conjured up so much pain again, and to just get that right amount of emotion into the song. She captured that completely, and just from that opening "blue," where again she hangs on to that word. I think I said right after it, what a start, because it's just, I don't know, it breaks you up automatically. It cuts you up, and you understand the tone of the song and where she's going to be going with this. I mean, just saying the title right off the bat, it gets the point across there. And again, you could feel her voice breaking. I mean, she sounds so naked. I mean, it's just, and again, like she said, she was very delicate, and she just sounds so naked, and all these metaphors she's using, and talking about sailors, and again, talking about being on a boat here. And I just like how she uses, again, those metaphors to talk about this topic, these topics of sadness and such. So anyway, I guess I'll move into these lyrics now. Again, I do believe just the personnel here is just Joni on voice and piano. So there you go there. Not much to go into. I got some pasta in my teeth or something. Holy moly. Anyway, so we go into the first verse, and this song was only 2 minutes long, so I can't be talking forever like I like to. Blue, songs are like tattoos. I've been to sea before. Crown and anchor me, or let me sail away. And again, let me sail away, I think of Styx, honestly, but the same kind of vibe there. I would say let me sail away, just to say that off the top. Let me be free, maybe from this depression, maybe from this this bad state, or this old relationship or whatever, hanging on to those things. But anyway, when she talks about songs are like tattoos, I feel like, yes, tattoos are usually permanent. You can get them removed, I know, but it hurts a lot. And I mean, that works again with just this song being about her feeling bad and her feeling depressed. It's going to be remembered forever. It's hard to get rid of any songs, especially when you're as famous and as known as Joni Mitchell. And again, that's one thing that I once I friggin' watched one of her interviews for just a bit. It was a YouTube short or whatever, but she kind of talked about how it was this worldwide fame all of a sudden, and she was somebody people looked up to. And at the same point, I think she said something like she couldn't believe that she was being looked up to, because again, she felt so insecure, or she felt so like, not somebody people should be looking up to. I mean, yeah, again, I think of somebody like Kurt Cobain or whatever, just fame that you're uncomfortable with at such a young age, and everything comes at you so quickly. Nelly Furtado, there you go. There's a Canadian artist who dealt with that that thing and had kind of a breakdown in the mid 2000s. Anyway, that just came to mind. But yeah, again, Crown and Anchor Me. I think about sailor tattoos, and I did see two people talk about in the comments on YouTube here how Crown and Anchor, I guess, is some kind of a game that sailors played. Again, I'm not up on my sailor stuff, but Crown and Anchor Me anyway, and Anchor too. I mean, an anchor holds you in place, holds a boat in place, I guess you would say, hangs on to you. So again, I think about the depression in that way. Again, she's just using these words as metaphors, similes, whatever you want to say. And again, talking about depression and sailors. And I mean, I guess that's as basic as I can put it there. But we go into the second verse. Hey Blue, there's a song for you. Ink on a pin, underneath the skin, an empty space to fill in. Again, these words are so poetic and very short. You know, there's not a lot of lyrics, but she puts so much emotion. I can't say it enough. The word of the day, I feel like, is probably emotion, but she just shows so much passion too, and into these words, and just the way she sings them, they seem even more important than they already are. And my goodness gracious. But yeah, hey Blue, I mean, is that another way of saying hey James, or just hey depression, whatever you want to put there, really. There's a song for you. And again, just dedicating a song to all of this, because she has to at this point. She can't get away from it. She dedicated a whole album to Blue, of course, too. And ink on a pen, again, talking about tattoos, getting underneath the skin, an empty space to fill in. Like a tattoo it's all empty space until a tattoo fills it in, and maybe just trying to fill that empty space within you with whatever, so you can kind of forget about that feeling of negativity, depression again. So that comes to mind as well. And the way the chorus, where there's so many sinking now, you got to keep thinking. Like at this point when she's singing, you got to keep thinking, you can't make it through these waves. Again, her voice fluctuations, I just really enjoy, I guess is another way to say it there. But talking about so many sinking now, I think about all these, what comes to my mind is an image of all these depressed people in the ocean, in the sea, whatever, and just struggling to keep afloat and not sink. And I just think about that and how Joni's in the middle of that, and she's trying to not get there. She's trying to keep thinking, I guess, keep thinking positive thoughts, happy thoughts, even though it's hard to do, just so she isn't blue and so she doesn't sink. I mean, again, it's just the imagery here is off the charts. You can make it through these waves. Acid, booze, and ass. Needles, guns, and grass. Lots of laughs. And then a pause there. Lots of laughs. Again, that second lots of laughs, and I kind of mentioned it when I heard it. It's just like she is almost reminiscing at that point about the lots of laughs. Because this point here, the acid, booze, and ass, needles, guns, grass, people say that part there is specifically probably about James, again, from what I've read. So, again, because I know James struggled with his own addictions, talking about acid and grass and booze and all that there. So, I mean, and needles, yeah. And maybe, I don't know if Joni knew that life as well or not. Again, I don't know too much about her. But, yeah. And I just think about the lots of laughs part there, too, where she maybe thinks back about those memories of laughing with him or whoever, you know, laughing back with whoever it was before this blueness took over. And when she does that second lots of laughs, it's like she was remembering, but then she's, you know, trying to forget it at the same time because it's just too much. It's just, the pain she conveys is nuts. In the way the bridge, everybody's saying that hell's the hippest way to go. I thought she said hell's the hippies way to go, but I guess at the end of the day there, because it was the late 60s, early 70s here, 1971 when this was released. And I can imagine, you know, folk singers at this point, because obviously I guess this song is considered folk, and so was Joni at the time. I would imagine maybe religious people, whatever at the time, people against hippies, probably told them they were going to hell. Bob Dylan went electric, he's going to hell. Oh well. You know, so maybe that, you know, that kind of comes to mind if it's that straightforward. Anyway, but she doesn't think so. Well, I don't think so, but I'm going to take a look around it though. Blue, I love you. And it's almost like, is she already living her own personal hell? I mean, that's what we kind of almost get here. Everything's so blue. And I love you. Again, is she talking to James specifically? Whatever it is. Maybe she loves the blueness itself because that's what she's come to know so well. And you got to sit in the depression. You know, you got to know the depression and to get over it as well. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I don't know, just as somebody who's gone through it, I mean, yeah, you got to understand how to maneuver the depression. And I feel like we're talking a little bit about that. Anyway, last verse here, the third one. Blue, here's a shell for you. Inside you'll hear a sigh, a foggy lullaby. There is your song from me. And I love how she elongates the word me there. It's just so beautiful too, and so heartbreaking too. And again, yeah, this song's for you. To what she just said, this is a song dedicated to all of what I just talked about, all those topics. A foggy lullaby. I mean, she put it great there. I mean, she put it pretty well. This is quite the foggy lullaby. Cloudy as hell, stormy as hell, dark. brooding and just so sad and haunting in a way too, hauntingly beautiful, of course. And anyway, just again, talk about a shell for you. Again, we're talking about the sea. You can think about a shell on the beach, and how, here you go. Here's a sigh inside of the shell, because of course it is. I mean, that just fits the tone so well. And yeah, I mean, she touched on, and I would imagine, thinking back to this time, the 1970s and all this stuff, people were talking about these emotions, I would imagine, back then. I'm having a foggy brain myself now. But I don't know, I think of a song here now of how did anyone touch on this subject as well as Joni did here, in 1971, did anyone touch on it? As I guess, Pet Sounds, I mean, my God, from the Beach Boys, Brian just passed away. I mean, obviously there's a lot of talk about feelings and that, but again, I love when artists would go here, because it doesn't seem like a lot of artists maybe did at the time, or they didn't really want to talk about their own emotions, but here Joni just poured her heart out, and it was just beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. So anyway, I guess that's all I gotta say. Like I said, since it's Canada Day, when I upload this, I had to do a Canadian artist, and Joni came to mind, so there we go. So anyway, happy Canada Day if you live here, or if you don't, happy Canada Day anyway, because what the hell. So thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all the support. Love it all. I apologize this video is somehow 15 minutes long, because I'm nuts, but anyway, thanks for everything. I'll talk to you guys again soon.